Welcome, ladies. Welcome. I am Charlene, the lady boss behind Boss Building Your Way. And it's super late. It's okay. You're probably up scrolling on your phone or working on that business. Me as a mompreneur, this is the time of evening or time of day that the house is super quiet. The kids are asleep. Hopefully they're asleep. And I just wanted to share 3 uncompromising ways to get your ish together when it comes to your business. So thanks for joining me. This is super last minute, but that's okay. If this time is not convenient for you and you are catching the replay, do me a favor, put hashtag replay in the comments so I know that you're watching. And if you're watching now, tell me who you are, where are you from, tell me what type of business you're in, who you serve. So I'm Charlene with Boss Building Your Way, and we help lady bosses just like yourself clear your calendar, clear your agenda, clear your clutter, shorten that to-do list to help you get focused. Because when it comes to the growth that you desire, it's not just going to happen, ladies. You have to be super intentional and consistent about showing up for yourself, your business, and your clients. And as an entrepreneur, especially as a mompreneur, it's super easy to get caught up in your day-to-day to-do list, your day-to-day activities, and not track what's happening. It's so easy to get inundated with all the day-to-day details that you're probably working on right now that you lose track of the bigger picture, right? So it's essential that you focus your attention on the things that matter in your business so that you can be super productive at doing whatever it is that you do. So tell me in the comments again who you are, where you're from, what do you do, how do you serve your customers, your clients. So today I'm sharing again 3 uncompromising ways to get your ish together. How do you show up in your business? How are you intentional when it comes to your business? So let's jump in. I think about a quote from Stephen Covey. He's a well-known author. And one of his quotes says, "The main thing is to keep the main thing, right? So here are my main things of how I am intentional in my business. So normally when I show up on live in my group, I always say, although it's late sometimes, pull out a piece of paper, pull out something to write with, record what's happening now, or save it so that you can watch it later on, because I really want you to write these questions down that I'm going to throw at you really quickly. And I want you to reflect on them and ask yourself, do I have these things in my business? And if I don't, why? Am I being intentional about my business and showing up for myself and others? And if I'm not, why? And if you're not, if you can't answer all these questions, ladies, it's okay. Breathe, lean back, reflect, and then take action. Okay. So here are my main things. Number 1. Well, first, I call them my NOVs. Let's say that. I call them my NOVs. Okay. So that's my numbers, my operation, and value. Okay. 1, be intentional about your numbers. Be intentional about your numbers when it comes to your business, which is all about starting with the end in mind. So here are the questions I want you to write down, because profit, we know profit, that number, that bottom line, profit is what is going to keep you afloat in your business to ensure that you continue showing up for your clients, you solve their problems, you serve others, and you do what brings you joy. We need profit, right? So that's the number you definitely need to keep track of. So here are the questions. Do you know how much revenue you are bringing into your business on a monthly basis? Do you know how much revenue you're bringing in on a monthly basis? How much do you need to pay your monthly expenses, your household bills, your business expenses, to include taxes, your business taxes? How much do you need to make every month? And this number is really important because, in this entrepreneurship thing, we always hear about a freedom metric, or we always hear about that grand number that says, this is how much I need to make in order for me to get everything done and to show up, live my life, not ever have to worry about money. That's the number. That's great. And that's wonderful when it comes to your vision. But I'm more of a realistic gal. So when it comes to your numbers in terms of your business and how much you're going to make on a monthly or a yearly basis, you first need to step back and think about, how much do I need to make to pay my bills on time? How much do I need to make to sustain my business, to keep it going? And what's my tax liability? When you put those numbers together, that's the number you really need to know. Okay. Also, how much do you need to spark growth in your business? What are your reserves? How were your reserves even calculated? Remember, I'm just throwing out questions here, and I want you to write some down, because you should know the answer to all of these questions, ladies, when it comes to being super intentional in your business, because sometimes we are so focused on showing up for our customers and our clients, and we're so used to doing stuff for everyone else and everything else, but no one is looking at our back end of our business. No one is looking at what we're doing in our business. You're not looking at what you should be looking at in your business, because we don't have the time, right? Or the energy sometimes. We forget about ourselves. We forget about the foundation of our business because we're so focused on helping someone else build and grow and scale theirs. But tonight, it's about you. Right now, it's about you. So take a moment, write some of these things down, because you need to show up for your business so that you can grow and scale and go past where you are today. Okay. So what are your reserves, and how was those reserves calculated, right? When you figured out how much you were charging for that course or that program or that service or that product, when you figured out how much you were charging, how was that number derived? How do you justify that number? Because in working with some of my clients, they literally arbitrarily pull out the number $497. That's the cost of my course. Where did that number come from? How did you calculate that? So if you have a course or a program or a product or a service, and you're just pulling a number out of thin air because someone else told you to, or because it seems to be right, is that truly the right way to determine your value? There's other things that come into play that you should be taking a look at before you even do that. So how did you do it? Okay. If you don't know, go back and figure that out. How are you documenting and tracking your accounting and financial information? Where are your records kept? Where are your receipts, right? How do you maintain that tax file for tax purposes, right? Better yet, how are you maintaining your files for historical data for the purpose of doing a trend? Okay, how are you doing that? All of this relates to how you are being intentional in your business when it comes to your numbers. Another number, how much do you want to grow your email list by on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis? Because your email list is a wonderful commodity to have. And you need to know how you want to build that. What's the strategy behind that? What are the numbers? How do you measure success, right? Another number, how many clients do you want to gain this year, this month, this quarter? How many clients do you want to gain? What are the numbers? What is the strategy so that you can get there? How do you measure success? Can you even support that number in your business? Can your business support that number, right? Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense. And let me know in the comments also, are you tracking your numbers in this specific way? Are you being this intentional when it comes to the numbers in your business? If you aren't, why? Okay, be super honest. Why? You need to decide what you want, and you need to understand how you're going to get there, right? Start with the end in mind, and then backtrack, reverse engineer, and then start breaking things down in small, tangible, bite-sized pieces. Me personally, I start with the end in mind, the year, and then I backtrack to my quarter, I backtrack to my month, and then I backtrack to the week. I personally don't track numbers on a daily basis because for me, it creates unnecessary stress. However, If that works for you, if that's something you want to do, you like to do that. Do what works for you. Okay. Number 2, be intentional about your operations. Your operations. Here's some questions I'm going to throw out there for you. How do you handle your distractions in terms of your operations and running your business? What are your boundaries when it comes to your distractions? How do you maintain productivity when it comes to distractions? What are all, and I mean all, of the tasks that you need to do in your business? What are you personally doing in your business on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, and annual basis? Do you have that planned out so you know on April 15th, tax time is here, I have everything I need. On September 1st, this is what I need to do. Do you have that mapped out and planned out somewhere in your business so you know what you need to do during each one of those phases, or in each one of those phases in terms of the timeline of your business, ladies? All the tasks that you're doing within your business, if you're doing them all, bless your heart, but why aren't you outsourcing? Why aren't you outsourcing? Okay. Ask yourself whether you are doing, better yet, ask yourself whether what you are doing in your business, all that stuff, if it's the best use of your time. Is that the best investment of your time? That goes back to writing everything down in your business. Everything. I mean, everything. Write everything down in your business that needs to be done and what you're doing. You will be amazed when you look at that list. And then you will figure out, this is why I don't have time to show up for my customers or clients or prospects. This is why I don't have time to be super creative into building whatever it is I'm building or coming up with. This is why I don't have the time to do things with my family, my friends. This is why I'm up at 2:00 in the morning trying to get something done. You don't have help. Why? Okay. Next question I want you to ask yourself here. What is your contingency plan? If something happens to you, ladies, today, tomorrow, God forbid, you get in an accident, God forbid, you get sick, God forbid, an emergency happens to a loved one, or something happens, what happens to your customer, your client who's waiting for you on that call? It's been 10 minutes now. They're waiting. Who cancels it? Who communicates with them? What happens if there's an unforeseen situation and you can't get to something that has been planned? Can somebody go and do something in your business so that you can keep it, so that they can keep it afloat? Listen, when it comes to your clients, they are going to be super, hopefully, sympathetic and empathetic when things happen, when life happens, when crap happens. However, when your clients pay money for a service, their expectation is to get that service. Even if something happens, their expectation is to get that service in one way or another. And if they don't get it, many will be understanding. However, you have to communicate. Not communicating, not having something in place to keep them abreast of what's taking place if you can't show up is unacceptable. We're building a business in excellence. Excellence should be a minimum. That's how we show up. That's how we're intentional. That's how we build and grow. That's how we build a brand. Excellence is a minimum standard. So what is your contingency plan? Some more questions. How do you track progress in your business? How do you track progress in your business? How do you measure success with that progress? You have to have this stuff written down, ladies. Okay. Another question. I love to ask this question to my clients. If social media goes kapooey today, or they change their mind, they decide to make everything paid, what happens to you? If there is some type of cyber attack, you lose all of your followers, all of your subscribers, all of your content. What do? What happens? Remember this. These social media platforms own your subscribers, they own your followers, and they own your content once you put it on their platform? What are you going to do about it? You have to have a plan in place. What does your email list look like? Do you have one? That's a very important asset that nobody has control over other than you. No one can't take that away. So how are you building that? How are you being intentional about that? These are questions you want to ask when you're building a business, growing and scaling a business. Where are your business SOPs? Do you know what SOPs are? How do we write them? Where are they located? SOPs stand for standard operating procedures. Do you have them in your business? If you don't, why? Where are they kept? How often are they reviewed? If you have a contingency plan in place and you have that friend who you know can go into your account and cancel that meeting or contact that customer or contact that prospect or whatever it is that you're doing, do they have something they can look at that tells them this is what you do step by step by step? Because they can't contact you if you're in an emergency. So they need something to follow in order for them to help you. Where is that? Do you have that? Okay. If you suddenly get 5 customers right now, 5 clients today, great for you. I would be super proud of you. If you got 5 proposals today, wonderful, or 5 bids, wonderful. But what happens if they all want to onboard in the next 24 hours? Can your business sustain that? Can your processes support that? Can you ensure they get everything they need in the next 48 to 72 hours? 5 customers, 5 bids, 5 proposals. Can you get them what they need in the next 48 to 72 hours without dropping everything else? This is a big one. What is your strategic quarterly objectives? Do you have strategic quarterly objectives? What is your plan? And do you have monthly goals that are aligned to those objectives? Do you have monthly goals that are aligned to those strategic quarterly objectives? You have to know where you're going in the next few months, ladies, and even in the next few years. You don't have to have a full business plan, but you have to have knowledge and understanding of where you want to be 6 months from now. When I talk to my clients, one of the first things I ask them are, let me see your plan. What do you mean a plan? What plan, Charlene? Where do you see the business, or what do you want to do in the business 3 months from now, 6 months from now? What does December look like for you? You don't have to have it flushed out, but let me see something that tells me this is where you're going and this is what your goal is for December or for June or for, whatever month it is in 2021. Like where is it? What does it look like? What are your goals? How are you going to get there? How is it measured? Many people don't know because we're focused on right now, today, right? Vision. Short term is necessary. Long term gets you success. Remember that. Okay. Excellence is in the details, lady. Excellence is in the details. Stand out by going above and beyond. All of this stuff, when it comes to being intentional about your business, is going to help you stand out so that you can go above and beyond what your clients expect you to do. Remember, we underpromise and we overdeliver, but how do you do that? Again, excellence should be a minimum. Excellence is in the details of your business. You have to do the work. And if you don't have all this stuff in place, you have a decision to make. Decision 1 is, I'm going to find the time by not doing something else. I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to do all these things, because you need all these things. You should have all these things at some point in time. Or the other option is, Charlene, I don't have the time to do all that, but I'll pay somebody to get it done because I know I need to have it. You have to pick, which one are you going to do? Yourself or outsource? Yourself or outsource? You have to make that decision, but it needs to get done. You don't have to do all this stuff overnight, this month, or in the next 3 months, but you have to have it planned within your operational framework, within your strategy, within your objectives, within your business plan, whatever you want to call it. You have to have these things laid out in such a way that you will make the time to focus on some of these things. So you do one thing, Get it done, check it off, move to the next. Get it done, check it off, do it to the next. I have something called CEO planning days. And a CEO planning day is where, and today's one of those days, Tuesday evenings are one of those days where I sit for an hour or two and I'm not doing anything related to a client. Clients are not my focus on my CEO planning days. My business is my focus on my CEO planning days. That's where I focus on my operations, my management. That's where I focus on different aspects of my business, getting these things in order in my business along with my team. Nothing related to clients. Do you have a CEO planning day? If you don't, consider it. You have to be intentional about setting time aside to focus on your business, because if you don't, nobody else will. And when your business is ready to grow and scale because you have this super amazing, awesome product or service that everyone is gravitating to, your business may scale and grow whether you're ready for it or not. So now is the time to put in the work, to put processes and documentation and workflows and systems and whatever else in place to help you prepare for when your business is ready to grow and scale. These are little things you can do on your spare time, if you have spare time. So number 3, and this is the last one, number 3, be intentional about your value. Your value. Promote what you stand for, respecting those values. And that also speaks to your brand. Ladies, your brand is not about your logo. Better yet, your brand is not your logo. Okay? Your brand is who you are, your foundation, what you stand for, what you believe in, your experience, your expertise, everything that makes you who you are. That is your brand. How you say things, the people you attract, the context in which you communicate both online and offline, who you are authentically. That is your brand. And that brings value. Okay, that's what gives value. That's what exudes value, right? So when you are true to yourself and your brand and stop worrying about what everyone else is doing and stop worrying about what you are not versus who you are, that's key. That's when your value shows up, right? This means you have to be intentional about how you show up and serve others and how you give value to your clients, the people you serve, your prospects, your audience, right? And in order to do this, you must first be super intentional with who you decide to work with. You get to choose who you work with, ladies. Just because someone is booking something with you doesn't mean you have to take that client. Better yet, stop taking clients you know you don't vibe with. Stop accepting clients who you know you don't work well with. Your energy just doesn't flow with that particular person. You don't believe in their business. You don't believe in what they're doing. You just don't like them sometimes. Be honest, right? Stop taking on clients just for $1, just to make money. It's not worth it. It taints your brand. It taints who you are. It's not worth it, right? So be intentional about who you work with. And this goes for your team who works with you, who you collaborate and partner with, and who you decide will be your client. I personally refuse to work with clients, businesses, or companies or brands that I don't believe in or who I don't get along with. That's one of my boundaries. That's a decision I've decided to make as a business owner. It's not worth it for me in the long run. No one benefits in that, right? If you don't like my style, the way I do things, that's fine. If they don't like your style, the way you do things, that's fine. Don't feel bad about it. They're not saying no to you as a person. They're not saying no to who you are. They're just saying no to what you offer. What you offer and who you are completely different. So don't get caught up in that, okay? Your value is about your value is all about who you are as a person. Okay. Your value is all about who you are as a person, the process in which you go by in terms of solving problems for your clients. Your value is all about your personal leadership, how you show up for yourself and your business. Okay. How you show up in rest, on time, on purpose, with intention, with some type of A to Z process or strategy for your customers, with the ability to seek first to listen rather than to be understood. That's also about value, understanding how to listen rather than always wanting to be understood. All that is about your value and your brand. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is making sense. Okay. So, ladies, we have to be intentional in being consistent. I love words and I love learning definitions of words. So, let me give you the definition of intentional and consistent. Let me read it. The definition of intentional is to do something on purpose, for something to be done on purpose, to be deliberate, premeditated, to be calculated, to estimate, to think in advance, to be done by design, to plan, to do something voluntarily, to be willful. Okay. Definition of consistent is to be steady or even, free from variation, holding firm, to be uniform, acting or doing in a way, the same way, over and over and over again. So we have to be steady and firm about being purposeful and deliberate about how we run our businesses, how we show up in our businesses, and how we serve others. This also means managing your attention and striving to focus that attention, your time, and your energy on what really matters in your business. Remember that Stephen Covey quote that I mentioned earlier. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you found something of value today. I hope you reflect upon it. And I hope you take baby steps in answering those questions and not feeling bad if you don't have them in place, but being super intentional about making progress towards getting some of these things, some of these things done in your business. So let me leave you with this. Cover your minds this week. Cover your minds this week with things that are good. Cover your minds this week with things that are lovely, with things that will inspire you to focus your attention on what really matters, those main things, to discipline your mindset, ladies, and to give you the energy, right? So when you focus on good things, when we focus on lovely things, and we look for things that inspire us, I want those things to give you the energy to journey down this path of entrepreneurship and personal greatness. If you need my help on any of these things, put chat in the comments and I'll send you a 15-minute scheduler and we'll talk about how I can help you do any or all of these things, especially outsourcing some things in your business. So have a wonderful evening. Get back to work. And if you are just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, it's okay. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful evening. Make it a great week. And don't forget, you're worthy. You're worthy of everything that you deserve. So go out and be great and show up not only for your clients, but show up for yourself. Have a great evening.